Not everybody who's building an online business has the exact same goals. Not everyone who's building an online business wants to even go full time with that business. Today, I want to break down the 3 levels of online business, the way I see them as being helpful and the way real people are using them, and open you up, hopefully, to a few different ways to think about what's the ultimate goal of your online business so that you can pursue your goals and do it your way without feeling the pressure to do something that somebody else is doing. Let's discuss. Welcome to episode 102 of The Graham Cochrane Show, where I'm here to help you build your online business, work less, and live and give more. I'm your host, Graham Cochrane, of course. Hope you're doing well. Excited to jump on another episode with you today. Thanks for tuning in on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or if you're watching here on YouTube. I know people from all over are consuming this content in a variety of ways, so I'm just honored to have a little bit of your time today. We're going to have a really good discussion today and hopefully be very insightful and enlightening and empowering, depending on where you are in your online business journey. 2 quick updates. One, I wanted to let you know, it's kind of a big week for me as of taping this. I just delivered my manuscript for my first book to the publisher this week. So this is a really, really big deal. Some of you might know this if you're on my email list, but I have written a book. It's coming out next year. I know it's crazy, but I'm really, really excited. I wanted to write books for many, many years, and I finally just last year got serious about that desire. And I'll probably do more episodes as we get closer to it, sort of on the process of getting a publisher and transitioning into writing a book and all that good stuff, as it's been a whole learning experience for me. But I have been working tirelessly behind the scenes last year in figuring out the book writing process and getting a proposal put together and getting an agent and then shopping proposals to publishers and getting turned down by almost every major publisher and then finally getting a couple of offers and then picking the publisher I wanted to go with and then writing the book. And now I'm at the beginning of the editing process. So that'll be a huge question mark to see how much they need to rip up, delete, or how much needs to be added. But I've at least written the book. It's been a lot of fun. And it'll be coming out in 2022. So I'm excited to give you more details on that. But I just wanted to let you know I'm excited. So for me, it's a big win. I wrote the darn thing, and now we'll get to work on the fun part, which is making it better and collaborating with a publisher who has a lot more experience doing this kind of stuff. So if you want to know more details about the book, make sure you are on my email list. That's where I interact with my top students all the time, letting them know about the cool new things that I'm a part of. If you're not on my email list, it's really easy to get on it. I just want to give you a gift in exchange for coming on my email list. This is how this works. And you know this. This is called a lead magnet. So what I want to give you is my 30-day online income jumpstart guide. If you don't already have it, this is an amazing PDF guide that walks you through a 4-week process to go from no audience online to making your first dollars online. It's not going to replace your day job in 30 days, but you will be able to make a few $100 if you follow this plan. I've had a lot of students make more than that, but usually I'm shooting for that $300, $400, $500 range in 30 days. It's a free guide. I want you to download it. When you download it, you'll also be on my email list, so then you're going to get updates on the book and all kinds of fun stuff that I'll be doing later this year and into next year, so I don't want you to miss that. It's free. Just go to grahamcochrane.com/jumpstart. You can get the 30-day online income jumpstart there, and then you'll be on my list if you're not already, and you'll get up to date on the book. So if you're excited about me writing a book, let me know in a comment below on YouTube. I'm excited to give you more details as we go. Okay, let's jump into the conversation today. There's 3 levels of online business, and I want to walk through them, but there's a conversation that was happening inside of my membership in my community, the 6-figure coaching community, that I wanted to highlight. 2 of my members had a really good conversation, and then some other people were jumping in. But one of my members, Keith, he posted this. He says, anyone else here intentionally, all caps, staying part-time with an online business? It's a great question. Anybody intentionally staying part-time, not because they couldn't grow it full-time, but just want to stay part-time. And he goes on to say, to explain his situation, He's in full-time ministry at his church. So he works for his church, and he has sufficient income to live for his family. So he's good. He said, I've always had a side hustle for my entrepreneurial curiosity. I've started and built several businesses over the years, but I like the idea of maximizing time to income ratio, which is why I've gone in the direction of online income. I see on here quite often that the goal is to leave your 9 to 5, but there are many others, are there any others that feel like they're called to their 9 to 5 and they just want to multiply income to bless others or just achieve more like I do? And this is what I thought was interesting. I feel myself caught in this weird dichotomy of feeling pressure to jump into the online business, but I enjoy what I already do full time. Maybe there's a blend in the future of the two. So here's a guy who has a very honest question. And what I love about Keith's post is that he's very self-aware. He knows what he wants, what he doesn't want, but he feels a little sheepish about it, as if there's something wrong with his desire. But he clearly loves his day job, his 9 to 5, doing ministry at his church. And then he really loves having a side business for income potential and growth. And if he had his way, he would just do both. But he's feeling pressure that like he's supposed to go full time. Okay? Love, love, love that honesty. And then one of my other members, Bobby, responded to him because he feels like he's in the same boat. He said, about a year ago, I was at my wit's end, convinced that in order for me to really make it with my online business, I would need to quit my day job, which I love, and quote, go all in for my online business. So real quick, I want to pause there for a second. Have you felt that pressure that everyone online's like, oh, just quit your 9 to 5? Or like, I love Tim Ferriss, but like the subtitle of his book, The 4-Hour Work Week, is to escape the 9 to 5. That's very palpable language. Do you feel the pressure that you need to escape your 9 to 5 and yet you actually like your day job? You actually like the career path you're in, right? It's a huge assumption to make that everybody flat out hates what they do for a living. So I don't want you to think that that's the only way to be, that you must go all in or jump in. You must feel the pressure to go all in. Maybe that's you. Maybe you feel like, I kind of like my day job. Maybe, if that's the case, you're more like Keith and you're more like Bobby. But then Bobby he was telling Keith about a story where actually Bobby and I met almost a year and a half ago at a convention out in Anaheim. And it's funny, we ended up in a friend of mine's hotel room having coffee. Someone was making pour over coffee in their hotel room. Anyway, a bunch of us are standing in this random hotel room. It's a weird place to meet, but it was quiet. So we were meeting in my buddy's hotel room, having coffee. I met Bobby in person there, and he was telling me about his situation. And so he is relaying to Keith in our community about the conversation that Bobby and I had, where he was telling me that he's got this job he loves, but then this business he's starting, and he feels like he's got to quit one or the other. And I had told him that it seems like it's not really a problem that Bobby has. It's kind of like a benefit. He actually found a way to pursue two passions at the same time and make more money. And so for Bobby, I love hearing his perspective. He said, I found a way to pursue both passions at the same time without any financial pressure. This never occurred to me before because I got caught up in all the hype that had convinced myself that I was, quote, failing because I didn't quit my day job. Kind of crazy, right? So here's a guy, Bobby, who's got a job he loves, is starting a business that he loves, and now he's making more money, but he feels like he's a failure because he hasn't quit his day job yet. And then Keith, the original poster, has a full-time job that he loves, has had multiple side businesses that he enjoys, but he feels like there's something wrong that he hasn't gone all in and quit his 9 to 5. Do you resonate with that? Because I know some of you do. There's a lot of good conversation going on this post inside my community, but it made me want to do an episode on this because the way I look at it, there are 3 levels of online business, and you really got to decide which level you're going after. And it doesn't even have to be a once and for all decision. You can change your mind down the road, but there's not one size fits all in terms of what the purpose of an online business is. This is very simple and basic to me, but maybe you've never thought about this. So let me just paint these 3 levels for you really quickly in this episode, so then you can decide which level you're shooting for. And that way, that if there's any pressure to shoot for one other level that's really not the level you want, you can let that pressure fall away. Okay. So level number 1 for an online business is just simply extra income. It's just that. You have a job or a career that you enjoy that pays your bills. You're fine with the work hours. It's not like you're working 80 hours a week and you're killing yourself and you have no free time. Maybe you're only working 40 hours a week, which is a reasonable amount of time to work. You could still have your nights and weekends free. So maybe you like what you're doing, but you're interested in online business because you would like some extra income. There's a ceiling at which your day job can provide income for you. So you've been interested in passive income. You've seen that this whole knowledge, commerce, e-learning, digital course space is a real thing. You've been perusing a bunch of websites and channels like this and podcasts like this, and you're like, okay, this makes sense. I wanted to understand the business model. I think I can do this. Maybe you've taken my passive income workshop. In that workshop, I teach you how to create passive income in just 30 minutes a day. That's literally all you need, because that's literally what a lot of people, that's all they have. That's 3 hours a week. That's a great little bit of time to chip away at beginning to build your brand presence, beginning to chip away at your lead magnet, creating your first bit of content, chipping away at your first mini course, and then getting it all up and running. And then once it's up and running, even with one little mini course to sell inside of one funnel, you just need one piece of content a week, which you can do in 3 hours a week. That's not that hard. So it's very doable to have a slow growing side business. So maybe that's where you are. You're realizing, hey, extra income, that's the goal of my online business. And what a great goal. Here's what a lot of my students are using their online businesses for extra income: paying off debt. Okay? Paying off your student loans, paying off your cars, paying off your credit card bills. That's what a lot of my students are using their online business for as far as extra income. It's a great thing to do. You already have enough money to live. Let's just knock out your debt. If you could make an extra 10 to 20,000 a year, right? That's a few hundred a month. $1,000 a month of passive income will give you $12,000 a year. If you could make an extra $12,000 a year, could that knock out your credit card bill? Could that help chip away at your student loans in a couple of years? Yeah, probably. So that's one way to think about using online business for extra income, for paying off debt. Another way is to use that extra income is to save up for a down payment on a house. Buying a house in a lot of situations is a smart financial move. There's a lot of caveats there, but by and large, real estate is an escalator to wealth. And just simply buying your own house is smart, especially these days with low interest, fixed rate 30-year mortgages. It's a giant inflation hedge. It's an asset that increases with inflation just by owning it. So you're kind of putting your hook on the house, and as it goes up, you're going up without having to do anything, just by living in it. The biggest obstacle to home ownership isn't the price of houses, it's the down payment. It's always been hard when housing prices were lower. It's hard when they're higher. So the down payment is hard, because where are you going to get the extra money to put down so that your mortgage and taxes and insurance and all of that is equivalent of your rent? Because that's the goal. So that's a big challenge for people. And if you have a day job and you don't have extra money, what are you going to do? If you have a side gig like this, if you've got an online business and you're making an extra $10,000, $20,000 a year, which is again an extra $1,000 a month or $1,500 a month with your online business, which is very doable to create that kind of income. If all your online business ever did was create $1,500 a month and you were saving almost $20,000 a year, in a year you could have a down payment. In 2 years you could have a nice big down payment, right? Depending on how much you need to put down, depending on where you live. That's a great use of extra income. So a down payment on a house, or as they start to lift travel bans again, take that amazing trip. 3 summers ago, my family and I went to France for a month. I actually stayed for 6 weeks. I did a fun sort of mountain bike tour thing around the Tour de France after my family left. They went back home, and then I visited my business partner out in London. So I stayed a couple extra weeks, but the family, we went out for a month. and we lived in the south of France. We stayed in Paris for 4 nights when we flew in, and then we took the train down to Provence, and we stayed there for 16 days, and then went out to Bordeaux region for another 10 days, and then back up to Paris. So all in, we were in France for 30 days. That trip, if I added it up, with flights and staying in a really nice Airbnb home, like houses, like big houses with pools, and eating out every single meal, or buying a lot of really nice groceries and a lot of rosé. We bought a lot of bottles of rosé for the month we were there, and train tickets and museum passes and fun stuff. And we went to the Mediterranean, stayed at a beautiful resort there for a night or two. All of that, right? I think we probably spent $25,000, something around there. I'll have to look it up. What if your online business just paid an extra $25,000 that year? $2,000 a month, which some people say that's not very much in my online business, but $2,000 a month after a year of saving that $2,000 a month, that's $24,000. You can go live in France for a month or wherever. I mean, you could live there cheaper than that, but we didn't want to live too cheaply. So that amazing trip, that is an experience that's worth having an online business for. All three of those things, paying off debt, getting a down payment for your house, taking an amazing month-long trip, that's worth having an online business, even if it's just, we're talking about $1,000 to $2,000 a month. That is not full-time income for most people, but that is a great, healthy, purposeful online business. And that's just one level of online business, just for extra income. So is that you? And maybe that's you. That is enough. You don't ever have to do $5,000 a month. You don't ever have to do 6 figures in your online business if you like what you do for a living. Maybe you just want to take every dollar that you make in your online business on the side and plow it into your investments so that you can, quote unquote, retire early or achieve financial independence through your investment account. And that's usually where you've saved up enough money and it's invested in dividend paying stocks or maybe rental real estate or something like that, where your money makes enough money every month or year to pay your bills. So even if you still work, you don't have to, because your money makes more than you do. So maybe you want to just use your online business to get to financial independence sooner. All of that is possible, even if it's just a small part-time income on the side. Those are amazing things to have. Most people would kill to have that. So is that you? Maybe that's you. That's the extra income level of online business. The second level is extra time. So this is the level where your online business is making enough money that it can pay for at least half of your bills so that you can then quit your job as a full-time employee and go part-time. That either means renegotiating with your employer to work only 20 hours a week but still stay with the company, or to quit altogether and find other employment that's similar, but maybe you're more in a consultant work or contractor or something like that, where you're not 9 to 5 button seat, but you're still putting in 20 hours a week for an employer. So a lot of times what happens is when you have a little bit of leverage, and this is for some of my 6-figure coaching community members, leverage, I told you I would weave it into an episode somewhere. You have leverage when your online business is paying 50% of your bills. So like, let's say it takes you $6,000 a month to live, which is a nice life in most parts of the world. If your online business is averaging over $3,000 a month, you now have some leverage in your back pocket where you can tell your employer, hey, I either need to quit or I need to be able to, go remote and only work 20 hours a week. So I'm either going to leave because I need to find someone else that will give me just 20 hours a week because I've got kids at home or I got whatever. Or if you're willing to just allow me to just go 20 hours a week, cut my salary in half, that's fine. But I need to work remote and cut my hours in half. You have a lot of leverage when you literally know you could quit and you'd be fine for a little bit until you found someone else who would pay you for sort of part-time work. And a lot of times I've had students and I've had people that I know who have been able to renegotiate their arrangement with their employer where they can move remote Actually, some of them keep their full-time salary, but they're only working 20 hours a week. That's a lot of what Tim Ferriss in the 4-Hour Work Week, one of the whole sections is geared towards employees, how to like negotiate sort of remote work full-time, which is a lot easier now in the land of COVID because bosses aren't weirded out by it. But as long as they get their work done, if they feel like they could be more efficient and get it done in 20 hours a week as opposed to 40 hours butt and seat in an office, that might work. Otherwise, even if you just take half the pay, you're fine because your online business supplements the other half. The beauty there at this level of income, where now you've gone part-time in your day job, is that you have way more time to devote to your online business, which allows you to grow your online business. So when you're doing the second level, you get not just extra income, but you get extra time. So you get to keep working part-time, but you get more freedom at work, which sometimes for people allows them to actually enjoy their day job more. There's something interesting that happens when you're like, I don't really like my job at 40 hours a week, but if you only did it 20 hours a week, enjoyment might go way, way up. So maybe it's not the work that's the problem, it's how many hours at that work. So a lot of time you get more work enjoyment, you get more freedom, there's less pressure on your day, which is great. Maybe you only work half days for your employer. Maybe you only work 2 days a week for your employer, and the other 3 days you can devote to your online business. Either way, you get more time to work on your business. You get more flexibility from work. If you're full remote, then you get a lot of the benefits of working full-time in your online business without the pressure of your online business needing to pay all your bills. This is a really cool hybrid that I see people doing. There's a point at which if you are in the first level where it's just an extra income thing, if your online business is growing and you're in the early stages, you might feel that it requires more time than you can give it because you're trying to build a few more products. You're trying to pump out a few more pieces of content early on. You're still slower at the content creation process, or maybe you're still building out some lead magnets or some of the funnels in your system. So there is a lot of more upfront work for online business, and you might feel like, gosh, my day job is prohibiting me from doing some of this, but I don't want to quit entirely, and I'm not able to replace my income fully. So this hybrid approach might be good for you. And you might get to the point where you actually like keeping it that way, where you're working part-time for your employer or an employer, or as a contractor or a consultant, and then your online business, your passive income business, is paying for the other half of your bills. That is a cool sweet spot to be, because then I feel like you have the freedom to dive more into one or the other depending on the season of life you're in. So is that you? Or are you more on the extra time level? You got the extra income level, which that's what it is. Extra time level. Now your online business affords you more time bought back from your day job to then either just use for flexibility or to live your life, or to dump into your online business, which can grow the online business more, which would lead you to level 3, which is all in. And all in is complete freedom to focus 100% on your online business. And what this is going to do for you, if you get to this level or choose to get to this level, is when all your attention is freed up to focus on your online business, this leads to 2 things: more time and more income. And you can substitute time for freedom. So more freedom and more income. When you aren't mentally divided, you can then put all your faculties and all your innovation and all your creativity towards creating products, tweaking sales copy, cool collaborations with other content creators in your niche or a parallel niche that would allow you to get in front of their audience and grow your audience, which grows your income. Take courses from people like Graham, wink, to learn, to invest in yourself, to join a mastermind, to start a mastermind, to interview your heroes on your podcast and learn from them, to do things that you really want to do. Like for me, write a book, right? You could do all that, which generally leads to more income. And the more you automate that income, and the more you become efficient, the more you listen to my podcast and others, not only will your income grow, but your time will grow as well. Because if you're working smarter, it's not going to take you more hours. You're going to be building systems that can skyrocket your income while your work hours stay the same or drop off. Make sense? So that's the all-in level. I'm an example of all 3 in different stages of my life. When I was still working for a software company as an audio engineer, I started my freelance business. Now, it wasn't a passive income style business because I didn't know about that yet, but I did recording and mixing for bands on nights and weekends, and it was extra income for me and my wife. And we used that money to save up a down payment for our first house, which was an inflection point for wealth building for us. We still own that house to this day. It's become a rental. It's doubled in value. It's been paid for by renters. It's incredible. It's been a wealth building tool, but it started with that first down payment, which came from partially my side income doing freelance work. So I know what it's like to use your online business as a side business, as an extra income tool. That was a huge thing for us. When I moved to Florida in 2009 and then lost 2 jobs in the same year during the recession, and I was on food stamps for 18 months and had a mortgage and a baby, and I was stressed out and confused. And then I started to blog about audio because, that's what smart people do when they have no money, is they start a blog. That was an inflection point for me as well. As you know, if you know my story, that led to my first online business a few months later. And I didn't even know that was a thing. I was just trying to put food on the table. And I was unemployed, but I had my freelance job. So in a way, I had sort of this second level where I was working part-time doing freelance, because that never got to full-time, because I had to just ramp it up as quickly as I could, and it didn't go from 0 to full-time overnight. So I was doing gigs a couple days a week, mixing for bands. And then in the in-between, I was writing blog posts, I was shooting videos, I was experimenting with sponsorships on my blog, I was filming courses and trying things. So I viewed myself at that second level where I literally needed both. I needed my freelance work, which for me was almost like my day job part-time, and I needed my online business combined just to survive. So there wasn't really extra income. It was kind of meager. But then it started to grow, and then we were very comfortable, and I had both. And when you have more money on one side, so the freelance work gave me the leverage to be able to start a blog and see where that went. When the blog and the YouTube channel and that course income started to grow, there was less pressure on my freelance business. So I was less desperate. So I had now leverage from the other side, which allowed me to not take stupid clients or needy clients or people that would lowball me. I could start to choose who I wanted to work with, which is another form of freedom and wealth, when you get to choose who you want to work with and choose what kind of projects you want to be a part of. That is a beautiful thing. So I wasn't desperate because I had leverage because of the other side. So I was working only with clients I really wanted to, working only on projects that excited me, and that was great. And then I got to a point where I was like, you know what, this is making so much money and there's so much potential on the online business side of things. I don't even have to do any kind of freelance work if I don't want to. So what if I stopped freelancing, because that is time consuming, and put all my attention on the online business side of things and see where this can go, see how big it can grow. And that's the train I've been on ever since. So that I was all in. Take it a step further. 3 years ago, I started this business. And so then I was running 2 online businesses. And in a weird way, that could be viewed as a 4th level of online business, where I'm all in on 2 businesses, but they don't each take 40 hours a week. In fact, I started this business when I had gotten the recording revolution down to about 5 hours a week. So I had all this time to start a second business. And for the last 3 years, I've been running them side by side, doing both. And then just this year, 3 months ago, as of taping this, I stepped out from making the day-to-day content for the recording revolution. So now that takes me basically 0 hours a week, and that's still running, which is amazing, still paying me a salary and all this great stuff. And now I'm all in on this business to teach you how to start and grow your online business and to help a ton of people know the truth about creating passive income and making it work. So that's giving me time to serve my members in my community, my membership site better. It's giving me time to launch the Epic Mastermind, which is amazing. 12 amazing, high income, high performing students. Every week I'm meeting with them. They're giving hot seats. I'm able to serve them in a high level and coach them. It's giving me time to write my book. And hopefully if this book sells, and hopefully you'll be a part of that and buy a copy when it comes out and pre-order it when it comes out, all that good stuff. If it sells and people like it, then guess what? My publisher will say, hey, you can write another book. So hopefully that I'll be able to write more books and speak and do all these kinds of things because I'm all in on this business. So you can sort of see the evolution for me of online business, and my goals have changed. My goals were very simple years and years ago. Hey, make a few extra bucks a month so we can save up for a down payment on a house. That was a perfectly fine goal because that's all I needed at the time. That's all I could envision at the time. And maybe that's where you are. You don't have to go full-time in your business if you don't want to. If your business is printing $2,000 a month and you view that as a problem, as if you're not good enough, as if you're not growing fast enough, maybe you need to reorient what you're asking your online business to be. Maybe you just need your online business to be an extra income stream for you. So now you're more diversified. Also, now you've got more money that you can use to pay off debt, save up for a house, go get to financial independence earlier, or just take an amazing trip, or pay for your kids to go to private school, or just eat out more because you really enjoy that. Or I don't know what you want to do with the money, but you could do just about anything you want with it. An extra $2,000 a month is a tremendous asset. Tremendous. So I don't want you to beat yourself up if you're like, yeah, I'm not full-time yet. Well, maybe that's not your goal. Or maybe that's not your goal right now. Maybe it's going to take you 2 years to go full-time. That's okay. Every dollar that your business makes is leverage for you. Every month your online business grows by $100 a month in recurring revenue is power for you. It's getting you one step closer to whatever else you want to be doing. But don't wait around until it's full time to feel like you've arrived. You've arrived, my friend. If you have an online business that actually helps people and prints some kind of money, you've arrived. Now it's just a matter of deciding what your ultimate goals are and looking at all the dials you have, how much content, how many products, pricing, marketing, sales copy, your funnel, and you're just fine tuning the dials. That's why you hopefully listen to this show. Every week we're talking about, making your courses better, increasing your revenue, email listing, marketing, and sales copy, and membership sites, and sort of success mindsets to get better at all of this stuff, book reviews, how to manage your money. All of these things are little dials for you to dial up your online business to wherever you want it to go. It can look like whatever you need it to look like. And you might really love your job, or you might really want the full-time income of your job plus your online business. That's fine. The beauty of this kind of business is it actually doesn't require a lot of man hours once you get it up and running. So you actually have the opportunity to keep it as a side business and almost create another full-time income stream. That's actually very doable. So a lot of freedom, a lot of flexibility for this to look like a lot of different things. So the question for you is, and if you're on YouTube, leave me a comment below, which level is your online business at, or which level are you shooting for? Level 1, 2, or 3. Extra income, extra time, so going part-time in your day job, or all in. There's no right answer. You pick what you're shooting for and what you need your online business to be. Which one of those 3? Leave me a comment below if you're watching on YouTube. And like I said at the beginning, if you want to get on my email list, if you aren't already, so many of you are, and thank you so much. I only send valuable free content and all kinds of tips and tricks. And sometimes we'll do live trainings. We just did a live training last week on Kajabi where I just answered your questions on Kajabi. We do all kinds of fun stuff. If you want to be on that list and get updates on the book and all the kind of stuff that's going to be happening in the next few months as we really start to finish the book and get it ready for pre-order and all that good stuff, join my list, and I'm going to give you a gift to do that. It's my 30-day online income jumpstart guide, which is a 4-week step-by-step bullet point checklist to go from no audience online to launching your online business and making your first few dollars on the internet, which is really, really cool. Tons of my students have downloaded it and used it. It's a great framework. It's a lot of fun, and it's free. Just go to grahamcochrane.com/jumpstart, download it. You'll be on my list. You'll be in my inner circle of awesomeness and awesome people, and then you'll be up to date on all the cool things that I'll be doing in the next year, which I'm really excited about. More to come on that as well. And if you want to, leave me a comment below and say, hey, Graham, I'm going to pre-order your book when you give me a pre-order link. Just tell me that. And just, even if you aren't going to do it, just do it. Okay? More on that. I'm going to be hitting you up about that because I'm going to need your help. And it's going to be a great book. It's going to help you, and it's going to help a ton of people. It's going to be a good gift as well. So more details on that upcoming, but I just want to share that with you because I'm super excited and because there's a lot of work to write it. And it feels like a weight off my shoulders to have at least the first manuscript written, and now we get into the ripping it apart stage. So I'll tell you how that goes as we get there. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching and hanging out with me today. I hope you're staying healthy and safe. And I'll see you on another episode real soon.